The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
NFL Network lead draft guru Daniel Jeremiah weighed in on the options for the Jets, not just in the offseason or not just in the draft, but for the offseason as a whole. We'll play what he said and react accordingly. Ryan Sampson from the New York Post is my guest. It's the Jake Asman Show on a Football Friday. Let's hit it and get it started.
I let the organization down, and I let the players down, and that burns me. It really does. This season's on me, and we're going to work our ass off to get this shit exactly where it needs to be.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Click the thumbs up button to make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Reminder, if you miss any of the show, check it out in audio form wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify, the two best places to listen back to anything you might have missed. We upload the full 2-hour, twice-a-day YouTube show to audio forms on Spotify and Apple, so check it out wherever you get your podcast. With that, we say hello to a good friend of the show. He is the co-host of the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. It's our guy, Ryan Sampson, who joins us now on a Football Friday. Ryan, how we feeling? Jets off season in full swing, and next week, NFL Combine. Glenn, Muji will speak. It's all happening.
It's all happening, Jake. Football Friday. It's actually like the first Football Friday, like not football happening this weekend, right? We're post Super Bowl now, in terms, or I guess the second weekend. But anyway, like it hits you like now this is the real time for the Jets to win their Super Bowl, which is the offseason. Look, man, I'm excited. This is a great time of year for us as fans. Talk about the possibilities. I just know that the more and more I'm doing more content this offseason, as you are, you're starting to realize, holy hell, the quarterback options are not great this offseason. It's scary. And it just makes you wonder how the hell this 2026 season is going to play out for Aaron Glenn and company.
The options are not great. There's no doubt about that. We certainly will talk about that. It's actually a perfect segue because we're going to discuss some comments that Daniel Jeremiah made. So we did a conference call with members of the media ahead of the NFL Network's Combine coverage. So this was Antoine Staley of the New York Daily News asking Jeremiah specifically about the Jets, their picks, and the quarterback situation. We will play it and then react.
Hey, DJ, I just wanted to get your thoughts about just the unique situation that the Jets are in, having 4 picks in the top 44, and also what they can do about their constant cycle, it seems like, at quarterback.
Oh, man, how long do we have? We got to get the quarterback thing figured out. I don't know what the right answer is this year. I was thinking about them. You know, you're not taking a quarterback at 2 or 16, in my opinion. You know, if you want to take a flyer at 33 or 44, I don't even love that, to be honest. I was looking at a couple names. Like I would kick the tires on. I don't know if they'd, be available, but for Frank Reich there, I was thinking about McKee with the Eagles. Like what would that cost? I was thinking about Davis. Why am I blanking on his name now with the Texans?
Davis
Mills. Yeah, Davis Mills. Thank you. I've got all these 26 draft names just jammed in my head. Those are a couple guys I'd be curious about taking a flyer on for a year if you could trade a mid-round pick. I don't think I would lean in the direction of the draft for their quarterback this year. I think they will be all in for that next year. They're obviously armed with ammunition in that draft, and I wouldn't be surprised if 33, which is always, a pick that I think has some value as teams go to sleep and come back and look at who's still on the board, and they could, trade down and pick up another asset in next year's draft. I think that would make some sense, but you can just plug a lot of different holes in this draft. And to me, it would be along the line of scrimmage. If you can get the offensive line, which has already got some good young pieces, finish that thing out, continue to add to this defensive line. And, you can add to, receiver, corner. There's other things you can add in there. But if you go into next year with a bunch of picks and your offensive line's in good shape and your defensive line's in good shape, and you can find your quarterback of the future at that point in time, I think that's the right way to go. And who knows, maybe you hit the lottery on one of these younger veterans that you would try and get. But that makes more sense to me than trying to force it on a quarterback in the draft.
Okay, so those comments there, all over the place in terms of what he hit on. But I think the biggest takeaway is that Daniel Jeremiah studies these guys year round, Ryan. And in terms of the quarterback position, he's saying there's no way the Jets, even with their 2 second-round picks, right? A popular Jet theory is maybe they don't take the quarterback in round 1, but they take a chance in round 2. He's saying he doesn't even like any of the guys worthy of a second-round selection at that position. That was my big thing on what he was discussing. Let's start there. What do you make of that?
I agree with him. The more and more that you think about it and what you've seen from Ty Simpson, who's widely considered the second best quarterback in this draft, it's just such an unknown with how few starts he's had. It's less than 20 quarterbacks that come out of for the draft and have less than 20 starts in their career don't usually pan out and never really pan out statistically. Cam Newton's that lone guy you can think about with less than 20 career starts that came out and was an MVP and took his team to the Super Bowl and carried the team on his back. But he's also a freak athletically and so gifted and supremely gifted. Ty Simpson's not that gifted, but there's traits that you like about Ty Simpson. But again, I just, the way the Jets are currently looking right now, roster-wise, Jake, it's more and more looking like they need to beef up the trenches, meaning the offensive and defensive line, because you have big question marks about, are they going to bring back ABT? Are they going to bring back John Simpson, or both free agents? So you have 2 holes at the guard spot. Where does Joe Tippmann fall into this equation? They're bringing back Myers again for an extension. Does Tippmann become a guard? They brought in Myers last year to kind of supplant him. So I don't think Aaron Glenn actually views Tippmann as like a long-term viable starter here. So again, there's question marks in the middle of that offensive line. While everyone's praising it, it's like, well, they're going to bring it back the same group. I don't know. So there's questions on, you need to beef up the front of the offensive line. We know the defensive line is devoid of talent right now. Meanwhile, you have 2 first-round picks on the edge. One is coming off a really serious, Achilles injury, and Jermaine Johnson. I don't think he had a great year by any means, but I think he would, I would like to see him come back 2 years removed from an Achilles. I think players play better 2 years removed from an Achilles injury. Just, it's statistically proven that way. So, I'm interested to see what he can do. And Will McDonald's not a 3-down player. He's a situational pass rusher, and they didn't use him the right way this year. Despite what Aaron Glenn spoke to the media before the season and during the season of coaching. It's just coaching. Well, you're coaching. You fired your defensive line coach and hired Carl Dunbar, who I really like. And I'm really excited to be on the staff because this, Jake, everything that they did this offseason and changing their staff over completely, both offensive and defensively, and bringing in a ton of veteran presence was something that Aaron Glenn should have done his first year. And now we see why they needed to change their entire staff. Is it too little, too late, though? That's the real question. But that's a whole nother thing. But look, man, when it comes to the quarterback in this draft, there's no sure things. There's no hype about these quarterback prospects besides Fernando Mendoza. So I don't know if it's worthy of taking a flyer on Simpson in the first or even second round when the Jets have some serious needs on both offensive and defensive line spots, especially the defensive tackle spot. And they need talent at the back end as well for the defense. They need safeties. They probably need a corner 2 or corner 1. I mean, you could argue if Brandon Stevens is your corner 2. So there is just so many holes on this roster. And I am not in the favor of, let's take a flyer on Simpson at 33 and 44 when there's probably a lot more sure things in terms of we can plug a starter here with one of our holes that we need to fill in with one of those picks. I mean, that's how I see it right now. And I agree with Daniel Jeremiah. It's a matter of, is there pressure internally from the higher ups, meaning Jaime, Eli, and Woody Johnson, get in the ears of Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn and say, season tickets are down tremendously going into 2026. We need some hype for this team. Go get Ty Simpson. Would it shock you if they do something like that?
I think the big thing is, can Darren Muji, if he doesn't believe in these quarterbacks the same way Jeremiah clearly doesn't for the Jets, can he do enough going into the draft at that position where you feel like, okay, for the year, you're in a spot where you don't need to be desperate and reach. And that's why I thought it was interesting that Jeremiah brought up Davis Mills as an
Yep.
option, Tanner McKee, who I really don't understand the Tanner McKee hype. He was a 6th round
I
pick out
never
of
got it
Stanford
either.
a few years ago. Okay, he played well in some preseasons, and then when he played in a game this year, I watched it, and I didn't see anything that spectacular when he had his one start the last game of the regular season. So I don't quite get it. Davis Mills is intriguing, I guess,
Yes.
somewhat because he looked decent filling in for Stroud this year. But I don't know what I'm willing to really give up for Davis Mills. Like, obviously, I'm not trading one of my 2s. I don't have a 3rd. I mean, maybe a 4th if the Texans were open to it. But then it's like, why would some of these teams trade quality backups? Like, in a perfect world for me, a guy like Jameis Winston would be an ideal fit for what the Jets need. But I don't think the Giants are just going to give him up. He's a
They're
really
not.
good backup, and Dart's already had some concussion problems as a pro. So they're in a tricky spot because, they could spend money on a guy like Kirk Cousins if he wants to come here. They could spend money on Marcus Mariota. I think they almost need 2 veteran options. They got to go into the draft probably with 2 guys under contract, so they don't even have that desperation where they definitely need to go quarterback early in any capacity.
No doubt. I completely agree with you. And Davis Mills, this is the first time I heard the name brought up just because I saw what was it, McLean down in Houston, a longtime beat reporter for the Texans and covered the NFL for 50 plus years. He's like, I'll walk down naked down Main Street in Houston if CJ Stroud is traded. So he put that to bed saying CJ Stroud's not going anywhere. But Davis Mills, guy who won 3 games in 3 starts for the Texans last year, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. His second year, he threw for over 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. He's a prototypical backup quarterback / fringe starter. So sign me up. In terms of what I give up for him, I give up a 4th round pick for him just for a 1-year deal. I mean, if you tell me, Jake, I get Kirk Cousins on a free agent deal, and then you trade for Davis Mills to be your backup / fringe starter when Cousins gets hurt or if Cousins struggles, I'd be up for that. I mean, that's the ultimate, I think, bridge way to go about this right now, just because there are, like you said, the options are not great. Marcus Mariota does nothing for everyone. I know we've thrown around the name, Jacoby Brissett from the Cardinals. What does LaFleur want to do there with the quarterback spot? I am for the Brissett marriage, bringing back him and Frank Reich. They went to the playoffs together. I just don't know if the Jets, again, are willing to give up a mid-round pick to go get Jacoby Brissett as well. He didn't win many games with the Cardinals, even though he threw up a lot of numbers. So that's again, another point that I think a lot of people are trying to make is like, these guys don't win many games. It's like, that's why they're available. Like the quarterbacks that win games aren't going to be made readily available. So the Jets are looking at it's a very small window of, here are the options we have that we can actually use. And I asked this to Kaz, and he's like, look, you don't think the Jets front office and Muji and Glenn are having these same conversations of who really could be available for us, and it's not great situationally for us. And they might be thinking about, and I hate bringing this name up, do we make a swing for Kyler Murray? And to me, that's the wrong quarterback. I've said it repeatedly on my show. I said it repeatedly on social media. A guy like Kyler Murray doesn't love football. There's a reason why he gets this bad stigma of when a new game of Call of Duty comes out, that guy's lost and doesn't care about football. And it would be the wrong message, I think, in this locker room. They need a leader, and the quarterback has to be the leader. Justin Fields was not that. We've heard from Kaz, we've heard from other beat reporters. Justin Fields did not take the benching well. Obviously, when the owner pretty much craps on you in the public media, I'd be pretty ticked off too. So he had every right to feel that way. But at the same time, there's a reason why Justin Fields has gone on multiple teams now and hasn't stuck where he doesn't play well, but also he's not a good leader. So they need an actual leader in that quarterback room. They need a leader in that locker room that's a veteran presence. Does Kirk Cousins provide that? Absolutely. Would Davis Mills provide that? I'm sure he would. I mean, the guy's won games every time he's stepped in for CJ Stroud this past year. So if you're following what Daniel Jeremiah is putting out there, and again, that's the first time I've heard the name Davis Mills out there. He intrigues me. I would be fully on board with Davis Mills. The guy's played with young receivers and Nico Collins. He's played and been able to show that he can operate an offense professionally and can win you a football game or two. Sure, man. If you're talking about putting a better chance of hitting success, I would take Davis Mills over the Jacoby Brissett and potentially even Kirk Cousins option. But like you said, get them both. Get two of them in here, because there is no solution in this draft for the Jets at quarterback at all. I truly believe that. If they want to take someone after the second round, meaning the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever, take a flyer. That's just throwing something up on the board and saying, let's see if he can develop and start a game or two at the end of the season. But the dark reality about this, Jake, is the Jets are staring down the barrel of a gun of another mediocre season or below average season. The fact that they're 5.5 wins from Vegas had just come out tells you everything you need to know about where this Jets roster currently stands.
It's actually a lot higher than I thought it was going to be, just because, they won 3 and there's no obvious path, as we're discussing right now, to fixing the quarterback spot. But I agree. I think in my perfect world, they only spend money on the quarterback position and they don't trade any draft capital, even if it's like a 4th-round pick for Davis Mills or Tanner McKee or Jacoby Brissett. I'd rather just see the Jets try and get Kirk Cousins. If you can't get Cousins, pivot to someone else that is available for just cash.
Mm-hmm.
If Murray's available for nothing, that's the only scenario where I would
only
consider
scenario
it.
if he's released, or if it's a vet minimum that you have to
Right.
sign him to. Like, I'm not trading any assets to bring on.
There was a proposed deal, Ryan, a 4th-round pick. Bill Barnwell put that out. There's no chance in hell I'm trading a 4th and inheriting that contract for Kyler Murray.
No way, because you're going to take on that contract. It's a ridiculous contract to even think about. I think he's owed $72 million or something like that over the next 2 years. Why would you ever want to take that on? If you're the Jets, did you see how much money they have committed in dead money just for the quarterback position to not play on this team this year? Between Rodgers, ultimately Tyrod Taylor's a $6 million hit because he's a void year. Thanks again, Joe Douglas, for that one. And when you cut Justin Fields as a post-June 1st cut, which is what it looks like it's going to be, it's $10 million dead on the cap. It's $54 million. Think about that. $54 million dead money just for quarterbacks not to play on the Jets this year. Like, why would you want to take that more money on Kyler Murray if it doesn't work out in this 1 year that you're going to try it, and then you fire Aaron Glenn if you have a bad year, and you're resetting everything again. You're going into 2027 with a new rookie quarterback that you draft in the 1st round. That doesn't make any sense.
Nope. Does not make any sense at all. Ryan Sampson from the New York Post is with us. Gang's all here. Pod, him, Frankie V, Brian Costello do a great job. So definitely check out the pod where you get podcasts. Plus you can watch it on YouTube. So today is raffle day on the show. We're going to do it at the end of our 2nd stream. So to everyone watching live, if you want to enter for your chance to win a signed Joe Namath jersey, signed Ken O'Brien jersey, signed Vinny Testaverde jersey, and our 4th prize, a signed Chad Pennington helmet. Now is the time to do so. You can send in a $10 super chat to qualify, or gift a membership to the community. And on the show today, I'm adding another prize. For anyone who enters during this show, we're going to give away, first time we've done this for a giveaway. It's a really cool prize. It is a Joe Klecko framed jersey art print. It will look great in your man cave. Check it out. That is the prize for anyone who wants to enter for the daily raffles here on a Football Friday. So appreciate the community for the support. Again, weekly raffle, end of our 2nd stream today. Enter during this show. And when you enter, you're entered in our Joe Klecko framed art display that you see there on the screen for anyone watching here, of course, on YouTube. Ryan, in terms of the coaching staff now, first time I've had you on since Glenn has finalized that. He'll talk next week and be asked, I'm sure, about it. Give us your thoughts on this staff, and specifically with Reich, and how that influences the Jets' decision-making at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, I think Aaron Glenn has shown you, just by how he's gone about this, which again has been a convoluted and dysfunctional way he's gone about this whole process. And you can argue, I listened to what your conversation with Manish Mehta, which was interesting, about the dynamics with the owner and Jaime. We've already known how bad it's been and dysfunctional between those two guys, influencing a lot of the decision makers here on this Jets roster, which is the whole reason why, you see the stats that you do from Warren Sharp about the Jets, are the longest tenured franchise in the NFL currently, with losing seasons and haven't had a season at 500 or above in over 10 plus years, and why they lack the ability to score touchdowns. And they've gone the most games by far in the NFL without scoring an offensive touchdown. I think Aaron Glenn has finally come to the realization that he couldn't just rely on young, unproven rookie coaches. And while he tried to offset, I think, a lot of the defensive responsibilities on Steve Wilks, that backfired tremendously. And I think we all had our doubts about Steve Wilks just because it's been proven in his recent track history. This wasn't like 10, 15 years ago that Steve Wilks got fired after 1 year. No, Steve Wilks has proven. The 49ers were like, we're done with you. And they went to the Super Bowl with him. Think about that. They're like, no, we can't wait to get rid of you. So he thought he could get rid of the defensive responsibilities, put that all on Wilks, let him run his system, and he could be the true head coach of this team. That backfired in his face tremendously. And I'm glad he took responsibility there. It took him a while to get there, obviously, Jake, and it's very frustrating as a fan, and I follow you a lot. You're very frustrated about it, as you should be. But for him to admit that he was wrong in the way he went about hiring his first staff, and I love that soundbite that we got from him at the scouting combine last year, and talking about piecing his staff together and how important it is to find guys that you can trust and the best coaches, and you can find them anywhere. You can find them in college, Division II, high school.
I think you dug that up, right?
Yeah,
you
I did.
First person.
Yeah, it perfectly encapsulated year one for Aaron Glenn, where it was a lot of tough guy talk. It was a lot of, I know what I'm doing, let me do it my way. And it backfired in his face. How you get up off the mat and figure out how you're going to do this now, year two. I like the way they're going. I like the way they built this staff. Defensive coordinator wise, that's a whole nother mess I wouldn't get into. But the fact that Glenn is going to call the plays, it puts more responsibility on him. It gets him more involved in the game, I think, Jake, because I think that's something that he was struggling with himself. We saw with the game situations, timeout calls didn't make sense. Time management didn't make sense. I just felt like he was too much. While you're trying to be the head coach and CEO type, he just wasn't in tuned in the game. It felt like it was just a lot of yelling on the sideline and mismanagement of time situations when it did matter. And you're like, what the hell are you doing on the sideline? Him being the defensive coordinator pretty much and calling the plays, I think gets him more in tuned on what the situation is, where we're at in the field, where we need to manage our time, and where do we need to manage, the game itself. I hope that corrects itself and you see an improvement there. I hope. I'm not saying it's going to, by the way. I'm just hoping. That's all we can do right now is hope. And then offensively, and you tell me what you think about this, I think Frank Reich is legitimately the head coach of the offense. I think Aaron Glenn knows I cannot babysit the offense, the quarterback decision, the play calling. I'm going to fully give all of those responsibilities off to Frank because he's been a head coach. He's been to the playoffs before as a head coach. He was with the Eagles when they went to the Super Bowl. I understand he didn't call the plays, but he knows what works offensively in today's NFL. Now, you can argue he doesn't know how to use motion. I've seen and read a lot of that. Like, he's one of the lowest in terms of usage of motion pre-snap, which is definitely a little bit of a concern because that is baked into today's modern NFL. You have to be able to use motion. You have to be able to give easy reads for your quarterback in terms of, is it man? Is it zone? Is it split? Are they blitzing? Are they not? Where's my protections going? All those things are baked into motion a lot. So I would hope Frank has adjusted there. Is it alarming that he's coming from college and hasn't been in the NFL in a couple of years? Yes, that's a red flag a little bit. But it's a proven commodity, Jake, in the fact that you're not going with an unknown in Tanner Rangstrand who's never called an offensive play before. So I like that he's basically saying, and I hope he's going to do this, mind you. He still has to say he's going to, but he could say one thing and then do another, Aaron Glenn, just because he likes to really walk back his words and not admitted that he was wrong. So we'll see what happens. But besides the point, everything I'm seeing, reading, and believing is that Aaron Glenn knows I have to take over the defensive side of the ball. I have to be better that way and prove that I am a good defensive coach. I'm going to give all offensive responsibilities and quarterback decisions to Frank Reich. And I think Reich is going to have a big, big voice in terms of here's who I think can operate this offense. Here's what I like. I think he's going to help this Aaron Glenn decide, yes, franchise tag Breece Hall, or no, we can find another running back in free agency. He'll help him make those decisions. And I think he's going to have a nice ear to Darren Muji and being like, here's the traits I'm really looking forward to. If you are going to think about taking a quarterback later in the draft, I'm sure they're going to bring Ty Simpson in for a visit. Like, don't be surprised, Jake, when Simpson, after the scouting combine, comes in for one of his pre-draft visits. The Jets are going to definitely take a look at him, get an interview with him. Frank will talk to him, see if he likes him, and see if he understands. And by the way, I'll say this about Ty Simpson. The guy was on a trajectory of being a top 5 pick to start the year, just because of how great he started his year. The offensive line struggled big time. They didn't have a run game to help support him. And he really struggled with turnovers and holding the ball too long. And you're like, this kid may still need more time to play. Unfortunately, he didn't get to transfer anywhere and play anywhere else. But I will say there are some things that I really like about him. The fact that he can be a coach's son and loves the game and is invested in the game. There's some traits there about accuracy that I really like. His processing can be really good at times. And he's played in a pro-style offense pretty much in Alabama. So I think there's really a lot to like about Ty Simpson, but it's going to take time with him. So I think ultimately, I think Frank Reich will have the ultimate say as a quarterback who they're going to go with. But I think Aaron Glenn's showing maybe some growth. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like he's maybe showing some growth here of how we're going to go about this.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Got about 10 minutes or so left with Ryan. Shout out to Chris, who says, put me in the raffle, Jay. Chris, you're in the raffle for 2. Thanks for supporting the show. And one of the OGs always supports Rick Kent, the first to gift today on our show. 5 raffle tickets for Rick. 5 of you just became channel members.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
T Haas EDC, Black 8 The Element, David Pearl Mutter, Andrew Driscolli, Craig Markman, First State Jets, all receiving a gifted membership from our guy, the Rick Kent, the great Rick Kent. Peter Castro wants your thoughts on Sawyer Robertson and Taylon Green. These 2 guys are probably day 3 quarterbacks, if I had to guess. Any love for either? I watched them at the Senior Bowl for a little bit, as the Jets were firing a coordinator and hiring one, so I didn't get to see the full practices when I was down there. I did go to more than your guy, Frankie V. He's the only person to ever go to the Senior Bowl and not attend a single practice.
No. Oh, no, you're taking a shot at Frank. Oh, no. Frankie was having a rough time at the Senior Bowl. I feel for him. It's just he learns the hard way. Look, between both of those guys, I like Sawyer a little bit more. I don't know as much, I would say, as others in terms of these day 3 quarterbacks, just because they haven't proven to, hey, invest your time in watching this film and maybe you find something here. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Matt Miller, but I will say the fact that Matt Miller, and now you're seeing Daniel Jeremiah's comments, Matt Miller came out and told Kaj straight up, he goes, I wouldn't take any quarterbacks after Mendoza in this draft. They're just, none of the quarterbacks at the Senior Bowl proved anything of, you have to go draft this kid somewhere in the draft. So I thought that was, again, another red flag where you're like, there's a complete toss up here, right? There's an element of it's flipping a coin and seeing if you can make something out of this. I don't know, Jake. I'm not in the proponent of taking a late round flyer and saying, this guy's definitely going to be a starting quarterback for us. I kind of am with your mindset of Davis Mills, Kirk Cousins, Jacoby Brissett, someone who's actually shown they can win a football game or 2. Go get them. I'm not sure I would believe in any of these potential rookie quarterbacks that the Jets could take later in the draft. How are you feeling about those guys?
Yeah, I agree. And I don't trust this coaching staff fully. I don't. Frank Reich is probably the best they could have done. But again, no one in 2026 was dying to hire 64-year-old Frank Reich when he was at Stanford and was not great last year, and then was not great when he was most recently in the NFL, where he got fired not even through his first year in Carolina and didn't make it through his final year in Indy. So I rather them just, as Jeremiah said, build up the team. You're set with the 3 firsts in 2027 and go from there, right? Glenn, you're putting more on yourself, calling the defense, fix the defense, show some competency. There's a path for you to be here for a year 3 if you win some games and you do some of that. And Like, I don't want to use pick 16 on Ty Simpson, for example,
No.
and even pick 33 feels too early.
Those are 3 starters, Jake.
Yeah.
Those are 3 starters for your team that you desperately need. Think about honestly, have you thought about what the needs this Jets team need right now? Like, they need a wide receiver 2. They need a 2 starting safeties.
They need everything besides probably
need a corner.
an offensive tackle and a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, they need truly all positions besides like you said. I mean, there's a lot of holes to fill. So if you're telling me I can get 3, and this is something I said to Frankie yesterday, I go, with those first 4 picks all being top 45 picks, you got to find 3 out of 4 of those guys as everyday starters, Jake. They got to be on the field every day and every play and being able to make a contribution to your team. If that 4th guy is like a project that you see a lot of high upside and he rotates in every once in a while, that's a very good draft that you want to hit. I'm not a proponent of taking Ty Simpson and saying, let's really let this kid sit and develop when you're in the timeline of, if you're thinking like Aaron Glenn, I have to prove that I can win football games this year. So I need more talent on defense. I need more talent on the offensive side of the ball. So him and Darren Muji are trying to prove we can help build a winner here. And they gotta do that by getting starters in this draft. So the fact that they have primed with 40, 2, 16, 33, 44, get me 3 out of the 4 of those picks being starting players. That 4th player being a rotation contributor. And you could prove like, hey, we can win some football games with these guys and build through the trenches. The Jets will be in a better spot for that future quarterback next year. It's unfortunately going to be another year in 2026. Unless something miraculous happens, Jake, we're looking at a 2026 of a very bad football team again. It's going to be tough sledding again in 2026. It's how the vibe is. It's how the vibes are going to be unless something changes,
Unless Kirk Cousins gives you the, Ryan Fitzpatrick 2015 season, right? Something along those lines is what it's going to take.
Now, who's the Brandon Marshall that's coming right here with to pair up with Kirk Cousins? That's
right?
Like my question. Like, unless it's a rookie like Jordan Tyson's, let's say Tyson falls to 16 and Tyson and Garrett Wilson take the field. I mean, Kirk Cousins has proven he can play with rookie wide receivers. You saw what he did with Justin Jefferson's development to start his career. He had some of the best statistical seasons ever as a wide receiver. Look, there's no doubt in my mind the Jets need to take a wide receiver early in this draft. It would not shock me in the first 4 picks, they are taking a wide receiver in this draft. They have to. They have to give another weapon here besides just Garrett Wilson. While Adonai Mitchell and John Mechie, those guys are just depth pieces. That they're not starting wide receivers. The Jets need a true number 1, number 2 / wide receiver, a Robin to Garrett Wilson's Batman, or if Garrett Wilson's going to be the Robin to someone else's Batman, they need another playmaker on the field. I would love it to be a big body. I would love for it to be like a guy who stretch the field, but at the same time as a big body can catch those 50-50 balls. So that way Garrett Wilson can line up in the slot more and shake free those nickel corners and make some mismatches happen and actually give Frank Reich an offense to operate with and give some more room for Breece Hall to operate in with a less loaded box defensively. So that's kind of where my mindset is right now, man. Like that, they need to fill and plug in all these holes on this roster. The quarterback option's not there in the draft. It's not great options wise in free agency and in the trade market for quarterback as well. It's going to be a bridge quarterback. It's going to be a tough year, Jets fans. I'm just giving you a warning right now. It's going to be a tough year in 2026.
Let me get you out of here with this. Breece Hall, do you want the Jets to retain their running back?
Yes. And I had a huge argument with this with Frankie yesterday. He's like, oh, you got to worry about long-term with Breece Hall, how you affect his attitude if you franchise tag him, especially with the exclusive tag, because then he can't negotiate with other teams. I go, Frankie, there is one thing that you are forgetting in all this conversation. The Jets currently, and I mean Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, mostly Aaron Glenn, they don't care about long-term right now. The only thing he cares about is winning games. Aaron Glenn has to prove to keep his job that he can win more than 5.5 games. If he wins 6, 7, and is competitive in a lot, 6, 7, if he's competitive in those games and he proves that he can win some more games with a bridge option at quarterback, that is going to give him that 3rd year here. But Breece Hall is the best offensive weapon the Jets can bring back on this team. He's already here. He's a homegrown Jet. If it's a 1-year commitment on a franchise tag, $14.5 million, you have $93 million if you cut Justin Fields post June 1st. $93 million in cap space. Yes, I am designating him with a franchise tag. I'm bringing him back. Frank Reich loves to run the football. Let him use Breece Hall the right way. Get another weapon at wide receiver, and let them actually have a capable offense. I said this to him yesterday. I go, I'm asking you to go from 32nd in the NFL to 18th. Think about that. I want you to go to as an top 18 offense, Jake. That's a middle of the road offense. It's maybe slightly below average. They are the worst in the NFL in terms of offensive production over the last decade plus. So if you're telling me I could take you, Jake, and us Jets fans going from 32 to 18, that is a meteoric climb for the Jets that they haven't seen in a decade plus. So if you're telling me I can get an offense with Kirk Cousins, a rookie wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall, sign me the hell up for that, because that is going to be an actual offense that we can all be like, hey, they're not so bad. They actually can score a couple touchdowns a game. That's all we want. That's all we've wanted as Jets fans. That's how low the bar is right now. So yes, bring back your best weapon offensively. That's Breece Hall. While you may piss him off and he'll never want to sign here for a long-term extension, no problem. He's going to be 26, 27 next year after he gets his franchise tag? See you later. Go get your big money deal. Or if you have a great year, maybe the Jets reward you with a monstrous deal and you have a rookie quarterback coming in 2027. You never know. But yes, I am franchise tagging Breece Hall. It shouldn't be, don't play with your food. Don't decide, you know what, we're going to let him walk. Stick with the option. Get Breece Hall a franchise tag. He's your best offensive weapon. You can use him in the pass game. He's going to be a great runner. You're going to hopefully have a solid offensive line. I can't overstate that enough. Breece Hall needs to be back here as a Jet. If you're telling me the alternatives are Tyler Algier, an often injured Ken Walker, I am not going to be excited as a Jets fan saying this offense is in a better spot. Breece Hall has not been truly unlocked, in my opinion. Neither is Garrett Wilson. So if you get me Kirk Cousins, if you get me Jacoby Brissett, maybe you get more out of both those guys. That's where I'll leave it at.
I mean, if you didn't trade him at the deadline when there was a 4th-round pick reportedly on the table, just to now let him walk, that to me would be a poor reflection on Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn not having a true plan.
I agree. It just, you're gonna tell me now it's the same way you would have had the defensive coordinator role. Like, oh, you know what? We got a plan. Well, the plan blew up in our face. Now we got to go find someone else. And if you tell me Tyler Algier with Braylon Allen, who I argued with Frankie again yesterday, I said, he's coming off a serious knee injury. He goes, it wasn't that serious. I go, he missed the whole season. If he's missing more than 8 games, that's a serious knee injury. The guy didn't play the rest of the year. So tell me right now how Braylon Allen's coming off a knee injury, how you can have confidence in him next year. It's a running back, and he's predicated on being a power running back. Oh, drives me crazy.
Ryan, love the passion. Great job. I'm looking forward to catching up with you throughout the offseason. We'll see what the Jets do. And if you're a baseball fan, specifically a Yankee fan, I recommend you tune in to Ryan's podcast with Joel Sherman, Pinstripe Pod. It's great. It's a must listen for me all throughout the baseball season, which is fastly approaching, which I'm looking forward to. Can't wait. Ryan, you're the man. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, Jake. As always, looking forward to your coverage next week, buddy.
Ryan Sampson from Gangs All Here with the New York Post. And again, Pinstripe Pod, a bunch of other podcasts with the Post. Does an excellent job working for them. All right. Want to remind people, it's raffle day on the show. End of our second stream. Normally it's the first stream on Fridays, but we only did one live show on President's Day. So we will do it on the second show just to be fair. We will do the weekly raffle. However, on the show today, the daily prize is first of its kind. It's a Joe Klecko wall art, right? Framed jersey art print that you see on the screen. So you can enter for the weekly raffle during the show, and you can enter specifically for the Klecko wall art here. It is specific to these 2 shows that we're doing today. Again, just to remind people just tuning in, Pennington signed helmet, Testaverde signed jersey, Kenny O signed jersey, and Broadway Joe Namath signed jersey are the prizes in our weekly raffle. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Click the thumbs up button if you haven't. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm rocking my U.S. Navy shirt that the great Thunderlips gifted me. Thank Thunderlips for his service. And that's because the Olympics will continue today. Men's hockey. We saw the ladies win gold yesterday. Can the U.S. get to the gold medal round? They are a favorite against Slovakia. Face-off, puck drop. It's at 3:10 Eastern. If you want to bet on Team USA, you could do so at FanDuel Sportsbook. The U.S. is a 1.5 goal favorite over Slovakia in the matchup. So we will see how they do. Canada trailing right now against Finland. A lot of us just expect Canada to roll all the way to the gold medal game. It has not been easy for them. They're trailing 1-0 right now in the second period. So we'll see if the Finns could upset the Canadians. And of course, the winner of that game will be the opponent that the U.S. would face in the gold medal round should they win later today. But bet on the Olympics, bet on Team USA at FanDuel Sportsbook. All right, more of your calls. And by more, I mean, let's get to your calls. But first, let me shout out the Rooster, who just gifted a 5-spot of channel memberships to the community.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Ay, 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 ay.
These 5 are from the Rooster. Make sure you say thank you if you got one. At JD, Eric Greco, Joshua Gonzalez, Candyman 10, and Howard D. Paranto, all receiving a channel membership from the Rooster, who joins our raffle. All right, let's get to your calls, shall we? First up today on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man that we call around here the Wagon.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Hey, Jake.
Hello, Chuck Wagon. Is today the day you win a raffle prize, courtesy of Jets Forever #2?
I don't know. You're gonna make him broke with all these losses each week. So, poor guy. But I saw the donation yesterday. That was great. Boy Green isn't on. He isn't on your show today, is he?
Boy Green?
Yeah, I didn't know if he was just watching your show, if you saw him in the chat or anything like that.
No, I don't believe so. He was the guest yesterday.
I know. I just I don't know in what world he thinks Derek Carr would be a good option for the Jets to bring in. I wanted to call in and tell him I thought he was on something and that he was crazy, but hey, to each their own. But I just do not see how in God's name you would bring in the guy whose shoulder is probably hanging by a thread. Just because he hasn't played in a year, that's fine. We just saw one guy who not played for 5 years and played pretty well, but it's his injuries over and over again that, scare me. And I don't know why he doesn't like Malik Willis. Because I'd rather have him than a guy who has a noodle arm because of his shoulder. So again, that's my opinion. I would rather take healthy than not healthy. No matter how many starts, 6 compared to like say 100 with Derek Carr, I just don't understand his reasoning. And I think it was a crazy thought. But again, to each their own.
Yeah, look, I don't love Derek Carr. I also can't sit here and say he's not one of the better options, given how awful some of the options are. My thing with Carr, it can't just be Carr and then we're set. Carr should have to compete for the job with another veteran. I wouldn't just hand him the job.
I agree. Yes, I agree. Carr cannot be the only free agent or via trade veteran that the Jets get. That's just because he's not going to last the season. And then if you draft anybody in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you're going to have to put him in there because you didn't solidify a second veteran. So if they want to put in Derek Carr, then they, like you said, they absolutely do need a second veteran. I would. I really don't know what they're going to do but hopefully it's something that will, make us happy and bring some wins for this upcoming year.
That would be nice. Now, Chuck Wagon, I know the question everyone wants to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are you cooking today?
Actually, I have sausage and peppers I really need to cook because it's been sitting in the fridge for a couple of days and I haven't cooked them yet. So I have a good feeling that's going to be sausage and peppers. I actually do have salmon too that I haven't cooked yet. So maybe I'll cook both the salmon and the sausage, obviously not together. But yeah, I think that sausage needs to be cooked first.
Little sausage and peppers, classic.
Yeah, sweet sausage, not hot.
I'll tell you what, Chuck Wagon, we want you to enjoy it. And when you start cooking again, you better call in.
Okay. You planning on going around 4:30, 5 o'clock?
That's the plan.
Okay. I'll try to, coordinate with that. Shouldn't be a problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chuck Wagon.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Cooking with Chuck. A new segment coming this offseason, folks. This is what you need to do when the team you cover hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years and it's coming off a 3-win season. More of your calls. This man gifted 5 memberships earlier in the show. Now he's our next caller. It's the Rooster who joins us now. Hello, Rooster.
How we doing? Oh, is my camera off? Hold on. Let me fix that. How we doing today, Jake?
I'm good, Rooster. How are you?
Just want to jump in a little on the Breece Hall. The only thing I've ever was taught in business is you don't make a decision based on something you did or didn't do in the past. So not trading him for the 4th rounder should not influence this decision right now in front of us and what we want to spend. Because Darren Muji might have wanted to trade him. He might have wanted to continue to dump guys. Glenn might have said, hey, wait a minute. I need something here. Don't get rid of everyone yet. I love Breece. Breece is going to be dominant. We're going to keep Breece forever. And we saw how it played out. Breece was good. He had over 1,000 yards. Now it's just a question. We got to sit down and make as a mature decision as possible with Breece Hall. And it encompasses everything. It encompasses, does he want to be here? Because when you're a bad football team, I understand what I forget his name was. Was it Sam who was here, who just was on the guy from the Post?
Ryan,
sorry. I understand Ryan wants the best offense and this and that. You got to just sit down and say to yourself, is Breece worth a transition tag at $11 million with him not wanting to be here? That matters when you're still rebuilding. And just when he said flippantly, I don't want Kenneth Walker over. I mean, I don't think Kenneth Walker will come here. Come on, give me a break. You'd rather have Kenneth Walker than Breece Hall. You would.
Would you though? I mean, Kenneth Walker.
Yes.
Kenneth Walker took advantage of his opportunity when what's his name got hurt. That he was splitting carries with Charbonnet, and he's been a nice player. But like Breece Hall is listed by The Athletic, for example, as like the 2nd best free agent. Like I think he's a lot better than some of us are giving him credit for because he's been in a bad situation with the Jets. Like I would just keep Breece. I'd franchise him. It's a 1-year commitment, and you keep a really good player on your team.
Yeah, again, that the whole decision is right now. Do you want to keep Breece or not? Nothing what we did in the past. That's the only
their decision in the past influences their decision now because they intimated by not trading him that they wanted to keep him. So my question would be, what changed if they just let him walk for nothing?
What changed is that Breece Hall is telling his agent, I am going to be miserable. I am going to hold out. And Glenn can't afford.
Do we know that though?
I'm just saying we don't know anything. So it's a lot. It's just not franchising. They really have to know that this guy, if he gets slapped the tag, is going to, and Glenn's got to know that, believe me, more than me and you do, because his job is going to depend on it. If you sign a Rico Dowdell, who's not as good as Breece Hall, but if he wants to be here and he wants to carry, and you still have, Allen, and you still have Isaiah Davis. Remember, we always know what we're paying running backs is for teams that are good, and I know it's a 1-year deal, but it's a lot more than just saying, we have to have Breece Hall because he's a great player. Yes, if it was that easy, but they're like you said it a bunch, and I agree with you. He wasn't voted MVP. There was things about Breece right now that it's a risk with what how you're going to play it. That's all.
Yeah, but my big thing is it's only a year commitment. I don't want to extend him. I want to just keep him around for a year. And unless you tell me there's another plan at running back, why am I creating an extra hole if I don't have to?
Yeah, I could feel with a good offensive line that you might not get all
Raylan
that
Allen
production.
coming up surgery, Isaiah Davis, who's shown
No,
not
but
much.
you can
He's
draft
okay.
a running back, and you have to sign a running back. If you don't sign Breece Hall, and there's some professionals out there, and you can draft a running back. And so, listen.
Right, but who's better than what Breece is?
You don't have to be necessarily better. It's if you rather spend $8 million on Dowdell or a couple of years and then allocate that money somewhere else. That's all that's got to go into it. It's just not
automatic. Who else is worthy of spending money on is my point. Like you have, according to the Athletic, the second best free agent.
Yeah, but that's the Athletic. Great. So,
but other free agent rankings will put Breece at number one. Warren Sharp, you value his opinion?
Again, but
Breece is number one ahead of Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowd, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, Kenneth Gainwell.
I get it. And he's right there. But if he does not want to be here, what's the point?
Because he's contractually obligated to be here.
I understand that.
But that's the thing. He's contractually obligated to. Saquon didn't want to be.
If he's going to be in misery, it's a problem.
Saquon didn't want to be tagged by the Giants either. Guess what? He played on the tag.
And we saw he got hurt that year, and it was a bust out. Okay, listen again. All I'm saying is, you want Breece Hall, I'm all for it, but it's just not. We didn't trade him, so we didn't get our 4th round pick, so we have to sign him. No, if you feel that it's going to work and the money's well allocated this year, go for it.
Well,
but
then, to your point though, Rooster, because they didn't trade him, I now need to tag him to then trade him and get something. I'm not losing him for nothing.
You're not. Again, you're losing him for nothing, but you're spending money that you have to spend on Breece Hall for something different.
Right, but I have to still spend part of that money on another running back. You just said that. So why not just keep the guy I know is good rather than the risk of signing someone who's not?
Well, these guys are all good players. I mean, we're talking Kenneth Walker just won the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Right, but do we know that Kenneth Walker would be a good fit on the Jets?
I don't know all this, but I'm saying it's
just Breece with the worst quarterback situation in the league just went over 1,000.
I like Breece Hall. Again, it's just not.
It sounds like you're arguing for the sake of arguing. I think
I'm not arguing.
Of Gary.
I'm just saying it's not automatic based on not trading him. That's all I'm saying. Is that fair? Because we didn't trade him, we now have to sign him because we didn't get a 4th round pick. No.
But you don't think that's a bad that's not you don't think that's poor roster management if you didn't trade him when you had a 4th on the table and now you let him walk for nothing?
There's so many things that go into why you trade or you don't trade. Again, Aaron Glenn.
Well, Rooster, let's talk about what went into not trading him because their intent was to keep him.
For last season, correct. For the rest of the season.
No. Their intent was to keep him beyond just the 2025 season. That's what they've said. They talked about it at the end of the season presser that Breece was in their plans for the future.
I know, but they say 1,000 things. They signed.
Not when they were asked about Justin Fields. We didn't get an answer on that.
They signed the Sauce Gardner, trade him 4 months later. So
that's a unique situation, though.
But Jake, things change.
And they didn't plan to trade Sauce Gardner. I think Indianapolis made an offer that was so insane they had to trade him.
Okay, and they didn't get that offer for Breece, and they held him. So that's
right. But now they could lose him for nothing when they could have got a Ford for him.
But I know. But what he did, he established Muji there that I am not going to get picked off on any trade, no matter what. Even if going down the road when teams deal with him, he set a precedent on what value is worth. And at that time,
his value was a 4th round pick. They could have taken that because they know if they let him go for nothing,
he thought he was getting undercut. We're just being told how good he is. The best of all, if he's the number 1 free agent, he wasn't a 4th round pick.
But he's still. Well, hold on a second, because that's not how you evaluate it. He was a rental for a team acquiring him at the deadline for half the season.
Correct, 100%. You don't. They have to go into signing him. Jake, all I'm saying is I love Breece Hall, and if they wake up tomorrow,
so let's keep him.
It's not. It just isn't automatic. Why is that not? If you're hearing,
it's not automatic, but the opinion of many, Rooster, is that it would be a poor look to not keep him after you didn't trade him. That's the point. It's not nothing automatic.
That part I don't care about. The looks, that.
If they let him walk, you're cool with it.
I'm spending the money somewhere else. Yeah, that's how it ends up. It's not that it's cool or not cool. It's just you don't make decisions on the past ones that you didn't do. That I will go to my deathbed on that. You don't keep chasing. That doesn't make sense to you.
Rooster, I love you.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
What a call. Incredible. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. A man is on the line that this community reveres. Hit it.
He's home, his bed is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his smell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his smell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, he loves the Jets. Super chats, wears a big fella. Sleeps alone, there's no room on his bed. That's a big fella.
Hey, man. Good morning.
Hello, big fella.
How are you?
I'm better now. I don't know how much longer I could have argued in circles with the Rooster.
Yeah, it was kind of a circular conversation. The Breece Hall situation. Okay, the Jets didn't see his value as being a 4th round pick. Obviously, they viewed it as being higher, and him being the 2nd rated free agent out there. Of course, they're obviously correct. I mean, being the 2nd highest rated free agent, you should definitely get more than a 4th round pick. I would think, right?
Well, I think the question is that they tag him and their intention is to trade him after that.
Yeah.
You would need a team that is going to give him an extension that's going to acquire him, because no team is going to give you a 3rd, let's say, for a year of Breece Hall, unless they know that they could sign him and have him for, let's say, at least 2 guaranteed years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, you tag him, right? You tag him, you pay him his money. I was originally for the transition tag, but it does make more sense that, you tag him and then you tag him with the franchise tag. Then if somebody wants him, they have to give up like a 1st or 2 firsts, something like that. That makes more sense. So, and you want to know something? If he's not good, you let him go You let him go the year after. You draft Mark Fletcher out of Miami, that big ass back, and we go from there. Because that guy's going to be a beast in the NFL. I'm telling you right now, he is nasty. And for the people who like Kenneth Walker is good. He hits the holes really well, but he can't catch. He can't catch at all. I mean, he drops passes all the time. I had him on fantasy this year, so he can't catch, bro. He's
strictly a runner, whereas Breece gives you both.
Exactly. And he's very streaky. So, Breece Hall, you pay him for the year, okay? You hope he turns it into players play harder for a contract year and stuff like that. You hope he does something like that, And then you have a tough decision if you want to keep him and extend him, or you want to draft Mark Fletcher. But that's where I'm at with that. I mean, to me right now, it's a no-brainer. And Braylon Allen hasn't shown us anything, really. I mean, he really hasn't. So, and he's coming off an injury, so I wouldn't really have him as your go-to. That would mean Isaiah Davis is your go-to. And is he really a starting running back? I'm not so sure. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Good call, big fella. I agree. I think you might be overpaying for Breece based on his production to this point at $14 million, but it's a year commitment. And I don't think there's such thing as a truly god-awful 1-year deal at that price when you have $93 million in cap space. Like, they have so many problems. We could debate how good Breece is, but could we agree he's a good player? Whether you think he's great and the Jets haven't used him properly and that's why we haven't seen it. Like, at the bare minimum, have we not seen enough from Breece Hall to say he's a good player, good running back? And this is not Jet fans saying this. People around the league believe that. So why not just keep him for a year? You have the franchise tag, use it. That's my philosophy. More of your calls right now. I said the Rooster was reminding me of Gary and arguing with him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
What up, Jake?
Did you see yourself in the Rooster there?
I no, but maybe because I was going to leave with that was a good call by Rooster. He's coming on at the right time. He's clicking in February for March Madness. I thought it was a really good call from Rooster. That was entertaining. I thought it was a good call by Rooster. So shout out to Rooster. So, like my inkling, and I'm asking you because it's just an inkling. It's going to be Reese at number 2. Are you getting that feeling, or like if you had to guess right now who we're taking at 2, who would you guess it is?
I think it's going to be Reese as of now.
I got the same feeling. How do you feel about that?
I don't hate it because look, he's 20.
Yeah.
He's only going to get bigger and stronger. He's versatile and a freak athlete. I just worry about him needing a little development to hit his full potential. And I don't trust this coaching staff, but I trust Carl Dunbar. So at least the D-line coach we feel pretty good about. So that gives me some confidence. But I think Reese would be their pick if the draft were today. But it's not today. Things change.
Things do change. It could change a lot. It could change 5 times before we get to the draft. We still got how long? Almost like a month and a half till the draft, right? Roughly.
Let me give you. I will give you an exact timeline. Actually, not Tankathon doesn't even have the draft ticker. They just have combine ticker. Draft's on April 23rd, so however many days that is.
Oh yeah, 2 months. We got we got a while. Yeah. It's gonna change 5 times, which takes me to my next point. Like I think Ty Simpson is gonna rise, and I said I think Ty Simpson is gonna end up being a Jet. I think Ty Simpson is gonna be gone by the time that we pick. If he's at 16. If he's not, I think we definitely take him at 16. I think he's going to go 10 or something like that. I think someone's going to jump at him or trade up for him. So I don't think he's going to get to us. So at 16, if we took Tyson or Lemon and we walked away the first round with Reese and then one of those 2 receivers, Tyson or Lemon, probably Lemon, I would guess is the one that's still around at 16. Are you okay with that? Is that a decent first round?
So Reese and Mekhi Lemon?
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Like I have no problem with it. It's just it's not sexy to me. Like it's all right. It's cool. Like it's good. Lemon is good. It's a good receiver, and everyone loves Reese. So I hope Reese is the athlete and the impact player everyone says he is. So I'm okay with it.
I think he needs to add 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and just be a pure edge rusher and just let him get after the quarterback that way.
You don't think there's any chance they take Downs at 2, right? Like they're not going to take a safety at 2.
If there was a year to do it, it might be this one if there's no consensus among the edge guys.
It's kind of the way I feel. Like I feel like I look at the edge guys. Number 2 overall pick. You want that to be a top 10 edge rusher. I don't really see that in any of these guys.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't know their grades on these guys though. Like, and if let's say Downs is the best player they have graded, how much better is he versus the edge guys? Because then it's like the debate of, yeah, he might be the best, but can you take a safety second overall? But then I keep going back to this example.
How much do you have to pay him? Like the second overall pick gets paid how much? $12 million a year?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it's like now you're paying. It's not that great of a contract. Like on a rookie deal, you want a great contract.
No, but if the guy's great, he's great. You know, like do you think the Ravens regret Kyle Hamilton at 14? Like the Giants took Kayvon Thibodeau at 5. Would they rather have Kyle Hamilton or Kayvon Thibodeau? You know, like at the end of the day, it is about making sure you hit on the player, and the guy's an awesome player.
And then as far as Breece, this fan base with Breece is really frustrating. Breece is a really good player. I don't understand why Jet fans who've seen him play his whole career here, know how good he is, all of a sudden don't want to bring him back or think he's going to be over. Breece Hall is a very good player. If your argument is Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, that group of that rookie class didn't work. The Jets suck. So I'm not bringing him back because the current course not working. Like the Mets, right? Everyone bring Alonzo back, bring McNeil back. The core didn't work. It failed. It had one good season since 2019. It didn't work. Why do you want to bring it back? If that's your argument, but I just feel like people are like Breece Hall's not good. Breece Hall's very good. I don't understand where all the anti-Breece Hall sentiment is coming from. I don't get it.
People maybe think he doesn't want to be here, so they're trying to get out in front of it, being like, well, we don't even want you. You can't fire me. I quit. That type of thing, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Breece Hall is a very good player, and I would keep him for sure. And then my last question is, if you had to guess, who is our starting quarterback week 1? Because I really have no clue. I don't even have a guess.
Kirk Cousins, baby.
If I had to bet money on someone, I would bet money on him.
You like that?
But I don't hate it. I'd rather Kyler Murray. I don't hate it like I hate Derek Carr. I'd rather have him than Derek Carr. I think someone else is gonna Steelers. Someone else is gonna offer him a job, and he's gonna take that. I don't think he's coming here. So, and I also think Ty Simpson is gonna be. If you would have asked me this question last week, I would have said Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson is gonna be gone by 16. We better not trade up for him.
I hope he's gone by 16.
And I hope we don't trade one of next year's picks to go get him. We better not do that.
That'd be a disaster.
They're not that stupid, right? Like they wouldn't trade next year's one to get to 10 and draft them, right? They wouldn't do that.
It'd be one of the most irresponsible moves of all time.
I agree. Okay. I guess if I had to pick a quarterback, I guess I would also bet on Kirk Cousins, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't even know if they're going to be able to get Cousins. I think he'll have other options. I think realistically, it's like a trade for Brissett or like Marcus Mariota.
Someone put in the chat, Cousins is the ticket to 5 and 12. And I agree. Is that bad enough? Like,
who's not a ticket to 5 and 12 based on that logic?
No, but I'm saying, okay, it's like the Nets. How bad do you want this to be? Like, we can make this real bad. We can go get Mariota.
Yeah, but they don't want it to be bad. They're going to try and win. So they're going to try and sign a guy they think that gives them the best chance.
So I would say that's to me Murray 1 and Cousins 2, but I don't think Cousins is going to come here. So it's Kyler Murray. I don't want to get into the whole Kyler Murray debate again, but like,
does anyone hate you more than Yo Holmes? By the way,
no. He hates me the most. Mike DeRamo, he's up there. Jet Surf City hates me a lot. There's a lot of people who hate me.
The Rooster says, I'm turning into Gary. I love Gary, and I miss Alan. Go Villains.
Yeah, I talked to Alan the other day. Alan's doing good. He's been busy. He didn't say anything like he's mad. He's not going to call. He just said he's been busy.
He said he's never calling the show again. He never even gave me a reason why.
He didn't say he wasn't calling you. He never said he was calling you again. He didn't mention it.
He wrote, I think on like Boy Green's chat, or maybe it was a Bobby Midnight chat, that he's never calling into the show anymore. And I'm like, okay, I've heard that like 3 different times over the last 3 years, but I'll play along.
He'll call it again. It's an addictive show, and it's Jets talk, right? Like,
he's going to call in during Asmaniac Madness when he sees what the committee does.
Probably. I mean, he's going to be in the tournament. Obviously, it's Allen, right? I don't know where you see him, and he lost in the first round last year, right?
Didn't he lose to Jets Johnny, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's a tough matchup. What was that, 8-9 matchup?
I don't remember. I got to check.
Johnny's like, both those guys got a little shafted by the committee there. Allen and Jets Johnny.
Let me see if I can find it.
They do their job well. I'm not trying to critique the.
Allen lost the Jets Johnny. It was a 3 versus 14. Allen was a 3.
Johnny was a 14 seed?
Yep.
He should have been top 8 seed. It's not my job. The committee does a hell of a job. I'm not.
You got to remember, it's based on a year ago. Like, who was like there? I was looking back at the bracket. There's a lot of people that were regular callers. They either don't call in anymore or call in so much less. Like, it's going to be a completely different bracket this year for a lot of names.
Boney calls in a lot less. Boney doesn't call in that much anymore, like he did a year ago. But he won the tournament. So, like, is he like in the eyes of the committee an automatic 1 seed because he won the tournament last year?
I could tell you this. It was debated what to do with the defending champ, but ultimately they came to the conclusion that it's about this year. So what you did in the past doesn't necessarily influence the future.
So someone's gonna get a real tough matchup in round 1, is what you're saying, right? Like, someone is gonna have to face Bonesy round 1. It's gonna be a real tough matchup. Who do you think is gonna win? Is Ryan Garcia gonna win tomorrow?
I forgot that fight's tomorrow. I have no idea, to be honest. I haven't even gave it any thought.
It's like Zach Wilson versus Mac Jones. Just two guys who were supposed to be really good who just did not pan out at all. That's tomorrow's fight. And they're trying. Ryan Garcia has never, there's 17 weight classes and 4 belts in every weight class, right? Ryan Garcia's never had any of them. He's never had a single belt. So they're trying to get him a belt. And Barrios is the guy that said, you can get his strap. Like, that's the weakest champion. Go get his belt. And I don't even, he'll probably win, like 55% chance of winning. But both these guys are on my no bet list. And Barrios is one of my good friends. I've done Mitch with Barrios. He's as flawed as Ryan is. And Ryan is really flawed. He's got the best punch in boxing, probably, so that helps. But
Joe wants to know, Gary, do you go to their dentist?
Who's dentist?
I'm not quite following this one.
The Barrios is dentist? No, he lives in San Antonio.
Do you go to the dentist in general?
Yeah, I did go twice. You're supposed to go twice. Yeah, I generally only go once. Do you go twice? Do you go every 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably closer to once a year at this point.
Yeah, I don't really like the dentist. I go once a year. I have my kids go twice, and I'm like a hypocrite about it. Like, I get once a year is fine. Yeah, I don't like. You like the dentist? The dentist and the eye doctor, I generally hate. The eye. Do you wear contacts or glasses or anything?
Nope.
Good for you. Good for you. I don't know how you keep your vision strong, but keep it. The eye doctor is the worst. They put all the drops in your eye, and then they 1 or 2, 3 or 4. I hate the eye. I hate the eye doctor. I think more than the dentist. I hate the dentist.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I hate the dentist.
Gary 3D Boxing. What a call. All right, home stretch here. We got a bunch of you on hold, so I want to make sure I get to everyone that is called in. Keep it rolling here. Chef Kevin is up next. What's up, Chef Kev?
Hey, Jake. How you doing, brother?
Kev, how we doing, man?
Hey, another day, man. Another beautiful day, man. I appreciate how you handled that Carlin situation, man. Like, you do an amazing job of just, staying true to what you want to talk about and what you believe, and you don't do that backpedaling stuff like what we saw the last half of the season with AG. Like, you don't do that stuff. And, you admit, you give people a platform, you let them talk, you push back. But for what you do, how you handle stuff, even with Don a couple months ago, like, when he tried to call you out with some stuff, man, you're it, man. You're 1-on-1, man. I just wanted to, tell you to your face and, and salute you.
Thanks, Kev.
On that, man.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Absolutely.
And with Ryan, man, he's a good dude too. And for him to, have to work with Tanky V, man, he a good individual as well, man.
That takes a toll on someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, man, I wanted to jump in and just talk about, the draft a little bit. But, you guys are talking about Breece, that guy Rooster, man. Like, he had my brain in a knot, man. I'm going everywhere with that Breece stuff. He's saying he loves him, then he's saying, I'll get rid of him and all that. Like, what do you really want, right? When you talk about a complete running back, Breece is it, man. Is he a good blocking running back like the other two that we have with Braylon and Isaiah? Nah, but he does take contact, man. He's not somebody that's, really small and will deflect or whatever. He stays in the pocket, man. He'll deliver some blocks. And then he also leaks out into the flats, man, for great production yards, man, like as a receiver. That goes underrated, man. I think he was like number 3 on the team in receiving yards. Like as a running back, like, that's pretty good, man. He's a weapon. And guess what? You're going to have to pay good players anyway. Why not pay somebody who's homegrown? All right. Is he disgruntled? Yeah, I don't think there's a doubt that he's disgruntled at all, but you got to still, when the money's involved and all that, like, it'll be a little bit different, but you can't lose him for nothing. You just can't let him walk. Like, that's stupidity, in my opinion, if you just let him go out the door for literally nothing. Tag him, and then, kind of figure this stuff out. But, for Rooster, man, just let me know what you want. You want Breece or not, man? Like, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Besides that, it was a good back and forth. Him being with Gary, being called as, love Gary, but, for the Rooster, I got to hear your thoughts on the moon landing, and I got to hear your thoughts on women. If you align with Gary, then, we could, I'll consider you being in that realm, because Gary, called before, so many topics he was on. I just like you, Jay, I forgot about Ryan fighting tomorrow. I'm like, there's just so much stuff going on or whatever, a ton of content. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's right. Ryan is fighting tomorrow. Betting, man, I don't know. I can't really bet on that. Will I watch it? Yeah, I'll watch it, but I can't really touch that. But for me, man, for quarterback, whoever we get as a veteran quarterback, whatever, man. The veteran's not going to be on the team for more than 2 seasons, all right? So the veteran will just be a bridge. We know the season's not going to be all that great, but the later round, we got to draft a quarterback this season, man. Later rounds, man. For me, I like Carson Beck, man, not just because he's a university Miami dude. The tangibles, man. He picked up the Miami playbook in less than a year, all right? And he was able to take all the concepts and really apply it and do well. He didn't get picked apart like some people would expect. And with the Miami's offense, man, the different amount of offensive sets that they have for him to memorize that stuff and to get on, hit these receivers on breaks that he's just playing with for the first time. He was in the portal a year ago. So for me, he's somebody that is not a big investment if we can get him in the later round. Hopefully he's around maybe in the 4th or 5th, man. If he's there, I think that would be a great opportunity for us to get on board with. And then is he the key moving forward? Maybe, maybe not. But it's better than when people were chanting, hey, let Brady cook. Like that, that's some nonsense stuff, man. We got to get some players here that we can develop and groom, man. Frank Wright, a good hire, but is he somebody that's going to be with us for the future, man? I don't think so, man.
He's here as long as Glenn is here, because Glenn's not going to get to hire another offensive coordinator. So this could be a 1-year thing.
Okay, what are they?
Pink Moon. Jake, let me run. I got some business to take care of. I'm going to talk to you later, man.
Kev, you're the man. Appreciate you calling in from the Cloverleaf Tavern, which is a go-to spot for anyone in the New Jersey area. Aria with a super chat. Damn, as a dentist, the best thing to hear when you walk in the room is, I hate the dentist. I don't think anyone hates maybe the dentist personally, but the idea of going to the dentist. I don't think people love doing that necessarily. But dentists, they're people too. Very important people. Sharon with a Nasmaniac super chat. Got rid of the staph infection. Now we just have to fix our Temu team. A lot of things to fix. There's no doubt. You're not wrong. Reminder, raffle at the end of our second show for the weekly prizes. And for anyone who wants to enter for a custom raffle prize, it's only people that enter during this show and the afternoon show. We're going to give away this Joe Klecko custom wall art. It's framed. It's really cool. Decent size, too, so it'll look great in a man cave. Beastbreaker writes in, I'm very bitchy today. Well, one would argue what is specifically different about today than other days. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ask the man himself. It's time. What's wrong, Beast?
I got enough problems to put up with. High taxes, people in your ears, pushing the limits. Nobody gives a rat's ass anymore.
So we live in day-to-day life.
It's a dark world we live in. The end of days.
The end of days.
We're living in that time right now, the end of days time. Where everything's gonna go straight to hell. We're gonna have a civil war. Everyone's gonna kill each other on every way.
A civil war. When do you think this will start?
Oh, it's already bounding to happen. We got people, we got Americans fighting real reality, and we got the clowns who make an ass on themselves on TV like CNN and everything else. Why do you think I been listening to Mark Levin lately? Dan Bongino just came back, which I like the Dan Bongino show. Oh, I like him. He's a good Italian. He's very funny too.
He's a good Italian.
Give me more. Give me more.
Aria writes in, Beast, how much to shave the mohawk?
Eat this. You can eat this. Take 2 of them, shove them up your ass.
Well, hold on a second. You're complaining about high taxes.
I ain't gonna give shit.
But doesn't this seem like an opportunity to make a lot of money?
No. As Tony Soprano once said, you know what? That person's entitled to shit.
I feel like
Thanks.
If you were to shave your mohawk, we could raise a lot of money. He left. Wow. Beast, good luck in the Civil War.
Woo!
Right. Hopefully you come out all right on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to your calls. Appreciate everyone tuned in here. Fun Friday show so far. Let's keep it rolling. Get your guesses in.
Other people don't appreciate what it is to pay it in the highest tax bracket like Beast does. They don't get it.
Are you on Beast's side in this potential civil war, Kyle?
I don't know about a civil war, but the taxes, it's tough.
Yep.
Especially,
Beast definitely pays a lot in taxes.
When you are a mover and shaker like the Beast, it's gotta crush you. I'm not trying to be critical of individual callers, but I want to kind of season a couple of different things. I don't think you can compare Carr to Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is going to the Hall of Fame. I don't know that Wagon was trying to do that, but if we had the chance to go out and get Rivers tomorrow for 1 year, I think we'd do it. He would be an ideal stopgap. He's just someone. I mean, there's no upside there, but if the price was right, and you really wanted to compete for 1 year, he would be your guy. I don't know if we want to. I know Glenn does. I know. I would rather just take a guy with upside. I would rather just front load a Malik Willis deal and take a spin with him and see if you get out after 1 year. I know you think he's going to have other options and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see on that part. Most likely, it's going to end up being someone who's very mid, like Mariota. But as far as the decisioning on Breece, that was made at the trade deadline. Like they're not making a decision to tag him now. The deadline to communicate that decision to the league offices now. Like when you say I want this in return, and if I don't get it, we're going to keep him. You do that implicitly with thinking we're going to tag him, right?
Completely agree. I think you have to have the conversation. If we're not trading him and we know he's a free agent, does that mean we intend to keep him? And smart teams would say, okay, we didn't trade him. We're keeping him. That means.
And if that conversation was not had, then we wildly have the wrong guys running the show. So that's really how you have to think about it. How Breece feels about being here is really immaterial because he's being well compensated, as you pointed out, he's under contract, and he has motivation to play well because he's going to hit the open market next year. So whether he's homesick or this is not Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn's problem, nor should it be ours. Play well, earn yourself a deal, whether it's with us or with someone else. It most likely is going to be with someone else. But that's the end of the story there. There is no world where the decisioning on Breece Hall is actually happening right now in real time. I'm just the whole idea that we would take Simpson at 16 is to me a little troubling. But I would be very comfortable if he was there at 33 taking him. And then I would be very comfortable maybe spending second day capital in future years to go up into the end of the first round, if that makes any sense. Because you got to get three guys in those first three picks that are going to play prominent roles on your team in 2026. Now, if that means that Ty Simpson is coming in mid-October or early November and getting a full 2-month audition, that's what it means, right? With his skill set, I have a feeling that Ty Simpson should be able to play in the league. I don't think he's going to be able to wash out. Now, whether he can be a long-term starter, that remains to be seen. That's basically all I had, Jake. I'll talk to you soon, then.
Kyle, great call. Would you say that's from space you're calling in from? Is that
This
outside?
is definitely an outside call. It's an homage to one of your previous callers, obviously, the lone rider, and that's where we reside. I appreciate your time, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Clifton. Check it. A couple quick super chats, then right back to your calls. Aria says, I'm willing to pay good money to shave Beast's head. Aria, name your price. I mean, Beast is a swift negotiator. He's going to want a lot. Big Fella checks in. I'm amazed Big Fella has not been gifted a membership. I don't know what is up with the YouTube algorithm. Screw it. I'm taking over the Dangerous Alliance. If Beast doesn't cheer up, we need a leader, damn it, and I will step up. No more negativity. No more crying. Now, Beast does not have his camera on, but we know he's still there. Beast, your thoughts on Big Fella taking over the Dangerous Alliance? We know you're there, Beast. You've done this act many a times.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Ay, 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 ay.
We know you're there, Beast. Answer us.
Oh.
Ridiculous. Super chat from Taylor D'Onofrio in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Taylor. Kyler gives the Jets the best chance to win football games in 2026. I think it's debatable. If you guarantee me he's fully healthy, maybe. I don't know. When was the last time Kyler Murray was actually a good quarterback? Second year when he made the playoffs? It's a lot of money if you're inheriting the contract. If you get him for nothing, all right, I guess. Again, beggars can't be choosers here. There's no good option. I mean, Arizona was 8-9 in 2024. He played decent. If you just look at his raw numbers. Yeah, I mean, again, could I see the Jets being interested in him? Yes, but it would go against everything we were told Frank Reich is as a coach. The type of quarterback he values, so it depends. Ladies and gentlemen, Aria has gifted 10 memberships. He's proven he's putting his money where his mouth is. Beast, I will give you the full 10 membership sum if you shave the rat tail. If for those who don't know, that is a $50 spend by Aria right now. 50 buckaroos. 50 bucks to shave the rat tail. That offer is now on the table officially. 10 raffle tickets for Aria as well. He says he will go up to $200. Beast, $200 offer for you to shave the rat tail. That is a lot of coin. A lot of money can be made.
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
Beast, your thoughts.
I ain't giving that asshole shit.
Well, he's giving you $200.
Forget it.
All right. Nick Shine says
I'm
he'll throw in $2.
proud of what I have, and you don't like what you see, change the goddamn channel. You think I got enough fucking problems? It's called get a life.
Is this a problem, or this is a sensible offer here to earn you some money?
I ain't doing that for that stupid you.
That's Johnny says he'll match Aria. So now we have $400 on the table.
Yeah, you know what you can do? Yeah, blow me down here.
You could pay rent.
I ain't gonna pay shit.
You can keep the lights on in the attic.
You know what the hell with it? You know what? Maybe some people were right that this is the end of days, and maybe stupidity has just basically entered a new level of dum-dumnism.
Aria says hard negotiations. We're up to 600 now.
Eat shit.
Okay. Do I have?
I ain't giving you a goddamn dime.
There's $600 on the table right now.
Eat shit. I'm not doing it.
Jets Johnny says, imagine being broke.
I'm proud of what I goddamn have.
It will grow back, will it not?
I'm not going to. I'm not betting over for what?
Mike D's nuts, another 100. We're up to $700.
Well, like Christopher Malasanti once said, blow me with your lectures.
700.
Blow me with your lectures. I don't care.
There's no lectures here. These are offers.
I don't care.
Is there a price? Everyone's got a price.
I ain't giving shit.
You can put food on the table.
You know what I've seen now? Now I'm starting to see the real
Another
reality.
$50. I'm up to 750 committed. 750.
I see what the world's turning into. The world's turning stupid because the society we live in is full of idiocracy and stupidity to a new level of a high intelligence.
Let me bring on someone who's the voice of reason.
I got gas right now.
Gary, do you think B should take the $750 offer?
Yeah, 750. I would say so,
No.
Beast. I don't want to say I'm rich, I'm not, but I'm financially taken care of. I will say that. And 750 to shave my head when your hair is already 90% shaved anyway.
Jake question for another 100. We're up to 850.
But like Jake, do you see the problem here? Like he lives in his mom's attic, so his
another
bills are
150. I'm bad at math, but that we went from 850 to $1,000 now.
$1,000 to shave your head.
I've had enough. I've had enough. I really have had enough. You know what? Maybe a new show will actually do the trick.
Do you see the issue here, Jake? Like really,
a new show is not going to give you $1,000 to get a haircut.
Because of clown shows like this, clown show.
$1,000 for a haircut.
No, do you see the irony in this? He says he's on the team with Bongino and Mark Levin, who are all against the welfare state, but he lives off the welfare state and turns down $1,000 to shave his head. Like, you see a contradiction in this at all?
You just really thrown yourself into an ex-boxer who basically bends over for 7-Eleven pizza. Bye.
$1,000.
Ex-boxer who bent over. That was funny, Beast. That was good. That was funny. You see the problem here, Jake? He lives in his mom's attic, so all his bills are taken care of. This is why, like, it just needs to end. And $1,000 to shave your head. His head's already 90% shaven. It's not like he's got great hair like me or Ricky. It's like I would still do it probably, but like his head's almost completely shaved anyway. It's like for
Aria
$1,000.
says, Jake, to prove I'm serious, I'll Venmo you it right now. If Beat shaves it, send it. If not, you can send it back. Wow. All right, I believe you, man. You just gifted 10 memberships. So that's very kind of you. You don't have to Venmo me to prove it. I know you're good for it. You're a man of your word, man. We had over $1,000 on the table. PVM writes in $20 super. Which I just woke up, had an overnight. We're collecting money for Beast Hair. I'm here. Here's $20. 5 raffle tickets for PVM as well. For those just tuning in, Aria said he would pay Beast the initial offer of $200 if he shaved his head, and people have been throwing in their own offers on top of that. I think it got as high as 1,050, maybe 1,100.
Math is hard. It got over. It got a comma in it. The number had a comma in it. I know that.
It did.
But like, why would give me an argument that you wouldn't shave your head that's already 90% shaved for $1,000? It'll grow back in a couple of months.
Anthony says, Jake, I just had to pull over on the side of the road. I'll add $200 for the Beast haircut. If my math is correct, let's just say we're at 1,300 now.
Give or take. Yeah.
1,300 roughly in commitments from the Asmaniac audience.
I don't know why people want to see him shave his head so much. Like, I'm not paying $100 to see him shave his head. It's almost shaved anyway. But they
Plus,
do.
Nick Stein had a $2 pledge. $1,302.
I'll throw in $2. Okay. I don't know why you guys want to see him shave his head, but you do, and the money is available. So why doesn't he just take it?
It's a lot of gabagool, Jay Lepselter says. A lot of gabagool.
That is a lot of gabagool. $1,300. The guy he lives in the basement. He's in the attic. And he $1,300 would go a long way for him, and he's not going to do it. Like, this is the problem. Like, $1,300 to shave your head, and you say no when you live in your mom's attic.
Chuck Wagon, very funny. I shaved my head and got a hat from the big fella.
No. You should have held out for more. You could have got $1,300. You sold it.
Unbelievable.
Maybe Beast is just bringing up the offers. Maybe $1,300 is enough. He thinks he can get this number higher. Maybe he's
a shrewd negotiator. Yeah, maybe he just knows the price. Keep going.
Yeah, he might get this thing to $2,000, and then he'll do it. I don't know.
Man. All right. Well,
if you gave Beast $1,300, how long do you think that would last?
I mean, that'd be a lot of gabagool that'd be purchased.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of hot sauce.
He lives in the what is he called? studio headquarters or whatever the hell he calls it.
The global
With his
studio
mom.
headquarters. Yep.
Who pays the bills for him?
We don't know that.
Pays for Cocoa Puffs.
Beast is an international man of business.
Yes, I know. He's a three-time ear infection survivor. Don't forget that.
And a 34-time world champion.
And he broke Roger Maris's home run record in high school.
That he did.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Ay, 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 ay.
All right, back to the last couple calls here, ladies and gentlemen. Ralphie is up next. Hello, Ralphie.
Hard to follow that one, Jake. I mean, I shave my head every week and I pay $30 for that. So it's hard to follow that.
If anyone could do it, it's you, Ralphie.
I guess so. Couple reasons for the call. First, great job with Carlin. I was going to tell you I love the show today. I didn't hear it thing it, but it seemed like it was a good show. That's my Carlin impersonation. I mean, for him to for him to criticize you, say he didn't hear anything. That's terrible. I mean, you're allowed to have famous people and infamous people on your show. So, and you definitely learning a lot from Tannenbaum because you basically told him to go F himself without saying it. So you're learning a lot from Tannenbaum.
I look, he can have whatever opinion he wants on it. My big thing is I think if you listen to it, there were things that the Jet fan could have gained from it that you don't hear in other places. And that was the whole point.
I mean, we all loved it. We're starved for Jet news. But I mean, and he should know your audience. But I'm just saying, you can have whoever you want on. All right. So I wanted to thank you because.
Oh, it came in. Nice.
This thing is a beauty. I mean.
Mitchell and Ness.
It's beautiful. Yeah, Mitchell and Ness. Exactly. They even spelt it correctly from China. So it's great.
Love that. Looks great.
So yeah, that thing grows on you. It's kind of like Beast for me. Like in the beginning, I thought Beast was like an actor that maybe you hired to drum up business because people were giving $50 chats to get him to get him out of here, and then $50 to get him back in. And now we love him. He's our announcer on our raffles. So that Jet jersey is just like Beast for me. Kind of grows on you.
I love it. It looks good. I might order one for myself now. I might be my next jersey purchase.
It's sweet. All right, I'm going to just keep banging the mantle for Caleb Downs. I can't believe that I'm going to be that guy, how Gary was for Brock Bowers a few years ago. But I just think in this draft, I follow a lot of drafts. I'm old enough to have been to the Keyshawn Johnson draft when the Jets got Keyshawn Johnson. I was at that draft. And so I've been enough to see when there's good drafts, bad picks, good picks. I know we picked a guy named Alex Van Dyke in that draft with the 32nd pick or 33rd pick, so that was terrible right after Keyshawn. But what I would say is that if Caleb Downs, who I hear from everybody is projected to be the most sure thing in the draft and has the highest ceiling, so that doesn't happen very often, that they say, well, this guy is definitely a starter right away, but he has the potential to be a Hall of Fame player. Like, that doesn't really happen that much. And it's a draft where there's not, aside from Mendoza, who I don't even think is a great quarterback if we're rating all kind of quarterbacks generationally. But yeah, he's going to go number one based on his position, and everyone needs a quarterback. I don't see any other defensive player or offensive player like a tackle or a wide receiver that's a generational talent. And this is the one guy that seems could be a generational talent. So I think, and I don't know if anyone wants to trade up to get any of the other three guys we're talking about that are flawed end rushers. So I would take Downs. I think and the one thing, yes, I'm an Alabama guy and I listen to a lot of Alabama stuff. Do you know, there's a podcast, I think it's Terry and Arnold and Patrick Surtain II. And, they're both first-round picks out of Alabama. And they had another guy, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's another first-round pick. They're all defensive backs. They all play together. And they said they were jealous of Caleb Downs because when he's the only person that Nick Saban did not put on the third string to start right away in spring practice, that he was with the first teamers right away. And so Kool-Aid McKinstry sort of like kind of hazed him a bit because they're trying to make him more humble. He's the only guy out of all of those guys, even Patrick Surtain II, he's the only guy that didn't start spring training with the third string so that Nick Saban could kind of humble him. That's how good Caleb Downs was. And he's only 20, I think his third year. So I'm going to push the mantle for him. And if I have to start fighting people for it, I will.
I'll tell you what, compelling argument, especially this year. So I don't hate it. I want to get a little more info on all these prospects. I think next week will be interesting with the measurables and how they perform and just kind of talking with some people. Because again, if Downs is clearly the best rated player on their board, and you're the Jets and you're in a unique spot where you have another first round pick, you got 3 next year. You just need really, really good players. Like, it's not your typical draft scenario for other teams where you only have 1 first round pick each year. You have 5 over the next 2 years. So why can't you take the generational player at 2 and then you can get your edge top rusher a year from now? Or you could go out there and get the linebacker now, or you could take a defensive player at 16 that we're not talking about. Or like, there's just, we have to think about it through this 2-year silo and not just looking at it from your typical, hey, it's the number 2 pick in the draft, because it's a lot more complicated than that when you also have 3 other picks in the top 44.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're talking about 3 other guys that maybe could be double digits in sacks. I mean, and maybe they're not even on the field the whole time. I don't know how a safety that could be a Troy Polamalu type, could be a game changer, is not as an impactful player as a guy that could just be a third down edge guy getting 10 sacks like Will McDonald, potentially. I mean, they could be great. They could be Lawrence Taylor, who knows? But I'm just saying, like, these guys are all somewhat flawed. They all got some issues. This one guy does not. He's going to be a top 5 pick probably. And, we're hemming and hawing of 3 guys that could be another kind of Will McDonald. So that's the one thing that I'm going to keep banging the mantle on. Unless I see somebody that's a definite thing that makes you think, like, no, this guy's going to be a 10-year starter. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. I don't know how you just don't go. And I don't get why safety is not a premier position. I mean, the guy could play up on the line and stop the run. He could be in the back. He could intercept. The guy does it all. I don't really understand why that's not an impact player versus a guy who could be a situational rusher.
Totally fair. Ralphie, excellent call.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, Ralphie. Great call. Glad the Keyshawn jersey that he won in the raffle arrived safely. Patrick Rowe, can you not gift membership to the YouTube app? It's only on a computer or laptop. It's very annoying. That's why we made the rule last year. If you super chat, the equivalent of a membership, we'll put you in the raffle for those who watch on the phone. Aria gifted another 10 spot of channel memberships. He's up to 20 this show. He's out of his mind. Unbelievable.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Let me tell you, Aria followed up and wrote, Beast rejecting $1,300 to shave his head should all remind us what the Jets will have to pay to have good players come to the Jets.
Get your heads out of your asses.
Oh, man. Here are the 10 who got the memberships from Aria, the most recent 10. Dave Flynn, K. Striz, Odd Job, Aranatan, Unk Jordan Raleigh, K. Toluco, Ray C., Aaron Kuma, Jay Grove from Westo, and Orange Man 96, all receiving a gifted membership. Now, I did just receive what we call around here Beast Mail. So, breaking news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Beast has sent an email to myself and Gator. Thanks a lot. Total disrespect. I ain't shaving my hair. You can stick it up your ass. I ain't selling my soul. Forget it. I have principles. Bottom line. Now, I would simply say this. That's a lot of money to turn down, Beast. That's a lot of coin. All right, they just take the money and then the hair will grow back. It's not like it won't. $1,300. But I do respect a man of principle, even though I'm not quite sure what the principle is that Beast is standing on here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more call before we wrap this baby up. Paul Faz will close this out today. Hello, Paul.
What's going on, brother? I'll add a hundy to that head shave. But I want to call devil's advocate here because, Gary's talking trash. Well, Gary, you know what? How about if you do it for that money? Let's see what you got, bro. Or shave your beard. If, you're saying, oh, hair grows back, well, let's put it on Gary. See if he wants to.
A beard is
roll
nothing.
with it.
If Gary shaved his head, I think people would pay money for that. A beard. I mean, we all can shave our beards. It grows back, but I wonder what the amount of money we could raise for Gary to shave his.
Let's call devil's advocate. All right, and you do it. Right. See what he does.
Right.
But the Breece Hall thing, I got faith in Muji. I think he did the right thing last year. I don't think a fourth round was worth getting rid of him, and he's going to have no choice but to play ball if we tag him, because he's only going to screw up his own career if he doesn't ball out. And in all fairness, you look at Breece Hall's career with us, he was pretty close to amazing his first year, his rookie year, right? And got hurt. But then every year after that, he never had a fair shot. I mean, we never ever had an O-line or an offensive coordinator or a quarterback. And for the last 5 years, it's been the same thing that all the teams do is they crowd the box, they take the run away. And the fact that he's still managed what he does. I mean, he's not up there as going to be one of the, top free agents to go after for no reason. I mean, is he a Hall of Famer? No, but he is definitely a well above average running back. We can't let the guy go. It'd be moronic, and it shouldn't even be a topic of conversation. To me, we got to have faith in Mooj. He's done a good job so far, and I don't think he'll screw that up. And to be honest, like I was trying to do the other day, you keep AVT, you get that center, you keep Breece Hall, and if we can, and I just personally think, like, am I thrilled with our offseason coaching changes? No, but I'm not disappointed with them. I actually think it might be the best offensive coaching staff that we've had in over 5 years, right? So to me, things are aligning. I mean,
we lost Paul there. Yeah, I mean, look, there's some things you could try and talk yourself into, Paul. Good call. We lost you there with the connection. I think if they keep Breece, you could sell yourself on getting a competent quarterback, and like this offense should not be terrible. It's gonna be good. I mean, I don't know. Depends who the quarterback is. Like Kirk Cousins can operate a competent offense behind this O-line. Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, Breece. Add another receiver. You got AD Mitchell. Like there's not nothing here. This is not the worst offense. It's just a really tough schedule, and it's just tough to picture the Jets like even getting a guy like Kirk Cousins if he has options. Good call by Ralphie there. I mean, by Paul. I bring up Ralphie because I see he's got a super chat, and which I will get to in a moment. But first, let me shout out Patrick DiStefano. He's watching on the phone. He's like, I can't figure out how to gift. Well, you can't do it from the phone, but you could send in a super chat, or in this case, a super sticker, which we still have no idea what exactly it is. We do know this on this show. This means Patrick just bought himself 10 raffle tickets for our Klecko framed wall art raffle and the weekly raffle this afternoon.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
This is the Klecko jersey wall art. That will be a specific raffle for anyone who entered this show and our second show this afternoon. Again, the weekly raffle, anyone who enters for a daily prize, you're already in. And we'll raffle away the following 4 prizes this afternoon. Namath jersey, Brian O'Brien jersey, Testaverde jersey, Pennington helmet. Of course, all signed by each of those former Jet QBs. Aria writes in, Jake, what is more surprising? What is more of a shock? The Beast email over hair, or Anthony Barr not being able to sleep and waking up rejecting the Jets? I think Beast turning down $1,500 is more surprising. That's a lot of money for a haircut. It really is. Charleston Jets Rube says, I'm not seeing the call. I'm like, Rube, I know you haven't called in a while. I'm going to post it just for you. We'll let you close the show out because I got to run. We'll do one more call if it's Charleston Jets Rube, is a long time regular on the show, but he's been gone for a while. So I'm glad he's still out there. Ralphie with a super chat, another 2 raffle tickets for him. Jacob, we let Breece walk. Would we get a comp pick for him, or do we literally get nothing for him? Forgot to ask you when on the line. It would depend on how much money the Jets allocate in free agency, and they're going to spend. So I don't think they'd get much. Maybe a 6th-round pick, 5th. It would not be a lot, though, Ralphie. That's the thing. That's my argument for keeping him. And that pick would not be until 2027. So you didn't get a 4th that could have helped you this year, right? You could have had 2 4ths, packaged them to move into round 3 to get a better player. You didn't do that. So I think you just keep Breece. Franchise him. That's what I would do. Just tag him and keep him. You know what he is. All right. Our actual last caller on the show is a man who typically calls in the nude. It's Charleston Jets Rube.
Well, there's a feller they call Charleston Jets Rube, 'cause he calls the show nude, never wears a shirt. And some folks, they don't think he's got pants on either. It's a gosh darn nudist camp. Let's hear it for that Charleston Jets Rube and see if he has any Jets points today.
He's back.
Hey, what's up, Jake?
Let's go.
Man, this
Charleston
Jets Rube is back, baby. Let's go. This new job sucks, man. I'm always working when you're on live, so I'm still watching. Like
I
last
see you in the
year,
comments, so I know you're still around. But I've been asked by a couple people, including the committee members, where's Charleston Jets Rube?
I have called in the last 3 months, though. I know you said
you qualified for the tournament, but Boomtown's a maniac and has all the stats for callers who called throughout the year, and your number is like among the highest. But you haven't called a lot the last 3 months. It just shows you how involved you were, especially over the summer.
Yeah, I when I got my year-end review, I was like in the 0.18 percentile for like hours watched on your show. So like there's not too many people that have watched more than me, but yeah, anyways, my busy season's almost over, and then I go kind of down to half part-time part of the time, and then I don't work at all part of the time. So I have a lot more time over the summer. So there will be some cannonballs and some other things coming again. But beach calls, all that good stuff. But I'm really not hearing a whole lot of stuff with the draft that I really would like to go. I understand these defensive players, these ends might be, considered BPA or whatever. But man, I want to do offense. It's kind of going back to when we hired Aaron Glenn. We were both kind of on the same page of wanting to get an offensive minded guy. And I know we have drafted some, the tackles the last couple of years, but prior to that, it seemed like we had always gotten more defense in the first round, early rounds. Man, I want to do something like, I don't think this would be available, but just say we didn't keep Breece. Why not do something like Tate and then maybe trade up a little bit and get Love? Or I wouldn't even be against, let's say we didn't get one of these guards, doing like Tate and then maybe that guard that was on Jeremiah's mock draft, supposedly the best offensive lineman at 16. Like, if we're going to be serious about either getting a rookie late this year, which I wouldn't mind, that Jalen Green or Aller. But if we're really going to be serious about potentially getting, a late round quarterback this year or, hopefully, March for Arch next year, why not beef up the offense? I mean, even the years that we've had a really good defense, what have we won? 7 freaking games? Nobody's talking about like the wide receivers at 2 and then another offensive guy at 16. As a matter of fact, I hear more defense than I hear even splitting up those first 2 rounders. So my question to you is, what are the odds that we just give our offense some help, man? Let's make it exciting. I'm tired of these freaking, even when we were halfway decent with our defense, these 13-10 games and all that other crap, even if we suck, if we could score some points, it would at least be worth watching the damn games.
Look, I think the bottom line is just the way the board will play out. The better players are the defensive players early. So just kind of matching up the BPA approach. It's why, like, you could take Jeremiah Love, who's Daniel Jeremiah's number 2 rated overall player. But are you going to take a running back second overall? You're not. And then you get to the receiver discussion. I don't think there's a Malik Neighbors in this draft or what Marvin Harrison was considered to be. And so I feel like you could argue it. Again, like I wouldn't hate it if they just said, we're just taking Carnell Tate. We love him. He's going to help us. And then we'll figure out defense at 16 or whatever the case may be. I just don't see them doing that just based on how the board's going to play out. But again, the double offense thing, I don't hate it. I just don't see the fit. I think it's more likely to be defensive player at 2, and then if it's going to be an offensive player, I think it'd be a receiver at 16 if there's one they like that's there.
I mean, I wouldn't be against trading up either. If let's say we did do Reese or Bailey or whatever at 2. I want to get either Lemon or Tate. I really do. So if that means, we got to trade up. And do I want to get rid of 44? No. But if we can get someone like a Tate or or a lemon and do that whole trade up thing, like somewhere between 7 and 10 or whatever the case might be. And I know this probably isn't going to happen, but ultimately, it kind of seems like no matter who you talk to, it's either Bane, Bailey, or Reese. And I know nobody's probably going to trade up, but in a perfect world, that would be great, because if we got down to 5 or 6, we would still have our choice of one of those 3 defensive ends and the 2 wide receivers. And to be honest, I'd be okay with any of those 5.
I like it. I like the idea of potentially trading up if they love Lemon. Lemon's the guy I like the most. If you told me they had to use pick 44 and use 16 and 44 to come up to get Lemon, I could live with that. I really could.
I could live with Lemon too, but I kind of want Tate. I mean, I've heard a lot of people
I think he's
him
gone. I don't think he gets out of the top 10.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people comp him to T. Higgins, and like you want to talk about a wide receiver 1A, 1B with like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I mean, I would love that combination with Garrett Wilson just because he's a whole different body type. And I know that, Lemon isn't the exact same receiver as Wilson, but they're more of a similar body type. I want to get that big bodied, wide radius, go up and get it kind of wide receiver. And not saying that Lemon can't do that as well. But like Tate's a big dude, man. And then you know what? We haven't drafted wide receivers very good. The last wide receiver we drafted that was good was an Ohio State wide receiver. So let's milk that pipeline. Let's get Tate, man.
I don't hate it. Rube, great call. Welcome back.
I appreciate it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charleston Jets Rube officially called in. Nice little reminder to those of you out there, as Maniac Madness is upon. Election Sunday will be 1 week from this Sunday. Get ready. We have playing games this year as the field expands from 64 to 68. It's all happening. Speaking of things that are happening, one of the greats in this community, Frank P. 10 gifted memberships. Hit it. Here's who got a membership from Frank. Make sure you thank him. Mike Cruiser, James Koch, Dylan2326, Rogue559, Relentless JC, Alexis Franco, Old School, Charles Kim, Orange Builder DeGrom, receiving a membership from Frank. That's 10 raffle entries for Frank for the weekly and our Klecko prize at the end of the second show today. You guys are awesome. Fun show. Couldn't have done it without the calls. Thank you to Ryan Sampson for joining us here. Again, this afternoon, we raffle away the Klecko wall art and our 4 weekly raffle prizes. So appreciate everyone who's entered today. We'll get an update from the Beast on whether or not he'd consider shaving the rat tail for copious amounts of money. Aria writes in, put something in the memes for everyone in the Discord. Oh, things are going to be put in the Discord today. That's for sure. It was one of those shows.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
I think we all could use a hug after this one. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. We're back this afternoon. A first-time guest will be on the show. Beast is just turned his camera on. Hello, Beast.
After what I heard today and what I saw today, the respect on here is low. Low stuff. Oh, the Civil War. And it's happening right before our very eyes. The future has already begun. The battle lines have been drawn. Sure, there's going to be good versus evil. There's going to be a temptation fight between reality and fantasy. We're all seeing it right before our very eyes. So if anything starts, you already saw what you've seen. See, it's already happening in society, in the world today.
$1,500 to shave your head. You're doing it.
I ain't giving shit. You only I give my soul to Jesus Christ. I gave my blood, my soul, my heart to the Lord. And
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Yeah, you better goddamn care, because this is the end days and the end times.
Beast.
You don't
calm down.
Don't
this
even
is God.
give me your shit today.
This is God trying to look over you, my
You want a
son.
twist of fate? Do you want to seal your own twist of fate?
There's a lot of money that's being offered. You could pay your bills. You could feed little Joey. Consider the offer, Beast.
You don't seem to understand life, do you?
Don't cry, Beast. You look like you're about to cry.
You don't basically watch real reality TV. You watch all that fake That's oh.
That looked like a wet one.
Yeah, right. No, you don't watch Hannity. You don't watch Ingram. You don't watch Carlson or Bongino or Mark
You
Levin.
cry. Those guys are manly. Be a
Those people
man,
are real deal.
Beast.
Those
Be a
people are
man.
goddamn real.
This is
They
not
tell
what a
the
man
truth.
does.
You don't think what's happening right now to people like me that are getting kicked around every single day? It's happening.
How
And
are
it's
you
happening
getting
right
kicked
before your eyes.
around? You don't move.
You don't watch
You
real
sit
TV.
in the attic. Take the money, Beast. Take it.
Why don't
It won't be around forever.
why don't you do something worthwhile?
Sean Hannity just called me, and he said, Beast, take the offer.
Shut your stinking hole when I speak, puke face.
Sean Hannity says take the money.
No, Sean Hannity's not even.
Sean Hannity and I
You know
talk all the
zero
time.
life. This is why society like you don't have a clue with life. This is why you just
What happened to that happy
You wonder
beast?
why my eyes are red?
Because you
You wonder
farted
why they're
in it.
red? You know what I'd rather do right now? I'd rather
You
smoke a joint
farted in your pillow and
relax.
sniffed
No,
it.
you push it.
You sicko.
Yeah.
Beast, this is your last opportunity. There's an offer on the table that will make you rich.
I am not taking it, and I forget that.
$1,500 to get a haircut.
Take this and shove it up your ass. I ain't cutting it. I'm gonna keep this until the day I go in my casket.
Which will be soon.
Yeah. You're talking way out half past your. Oh.
Look at you. You can't even fart without pain.
Yeah. I like to see it. I like to see it try, but I don't think you ain't got enough hair on
Your
your
friend
ass.
Gator says your eyes are red because you farted on your fingers and wiped them in your eyes.
Wow. You know what you just basically did? You just basically went full-blown retard to another level. That's
point.
right. FBR, full-blown retard. You're a retard.
Gator says it takes one to know one. Ho, ho,
Yeah,
ho.
I can see it right through my 2020 vision. You don't get it, do you? You don't get it, do you? I don't think you do.
Beast, what the are you doing?
Right now, I'm holding I'm holding this one thing that I use for my guitar strings. So I get new ones. My wire cutters. Lovely wire cutters, huh? Ain't they lovely? Today's show has been nothing more than embarrass me and make me look bad. Well, I don't
It
give
was
a
an
rat's ass.
offer to make copious amounts of money.
No. This is nothing more than a circus full of retards and schmucks that don't have a clue what life is.
It's disappointing that Beast and God couldn't work it out at the end there. Just trying to get them some space. Oak writes in, McNeil from Toledo will surprise people. Toledo goes DBU. Emmanuel. I like him. I like him a lot. I would like the Jets to take him in the second round. We did a mock yesterday on the, by the way, what a transition. We did a mock yesterday on the Jets Roundtable show I do. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. That's who you're talking about. I believe in him. I like him a lot. I think he's going to go in the second round, and he could be in play for pick 44 for the Jets. Anyway, Beast, I think you should have taken the money, though. I think God was onto something. But it's Beast. It's his prerogative. So God bless him. All right. Fun show. It's finally over. We're back this afternoon. A first-time guest will be joining us, so you don't want to miss that. I will talk to you guys soon. JETS. Jets. Peace.
We head out to the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, and we bring on the Lane Train.
Hi. I feel the same way about the Jets. They play the hardest, but I have a question. I saw the play, and you know what happened? He blocked it. I also have to say, how do you feel about Elijah Morse? Do you think they should keep him next year, or do you build it up for who to have for next year? I feel upset about the game tonight. I know they tried hard. I watched it. There's nothing really you could do. But yeah, I'm just sitting in my room thinking why they did not win. And I heard the last caller, she was upset also. There was like drinking. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Happy New Year, Lane. Oh, my bad, everybody.